Tower of God has a long and complex lore behind it, which is how I could make 5 previous videos about a single event in the Tower of God timeline and still didn't even really scratch the surface. Which is also why I decided to make this video a bit different compared to the previous ones. Instead of focusing on a single topic in the Tower of God universe, I will jump all over the timeline and talk about some events that we don't have enough information to justify doing their own entry in the video series. Anyway, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. I want to start with the story of a woman I could and probably should have mentioned in my previous video where I talked about the princesses of Jahat. I want to talk about Po Bia Elaine. Elaine was born into the Grey Wolf family branch, one of the 20 branches of the Po Bia family. Although Elaine was not a direct descendant of the Po Bia family head, her talent exceeded those who were. Because of her outstanding skills and abilities, she was nominated to become a princess of Jahat. The Grey Wolf family quickly gained influence amongst the branch families as a result of Elaine's nomination. Elaine was assigned a servant from the Po Bia family. Alphine was one of the servants sent from the Po Bia family to attend to Elaine's wishes. At that time, Alphine watched Elaine closely, more than anyone else. She truly believed that Elaine was well suited to become a Jahat princess because of her qualities. However, a week before Elaine was meant to go to the palace of Jahat for her coronation, a competition between children of the Po Bia branch families was held. Although Elaine was not required to attend because she was going to become a princess of Jahat, she was still summoned to attend by the main family. During the competition, she met a boy with skills surpassing all other children of the 20 branch families and fell in love with him. However, because of the rules that govern the princesses of Jahat, Elaine was not allowed to fall in love. She decided to give up on becoming a princess of Jahat and attempted to escape with the boy from the floating castle. However, guards dispatched from both the main family and the Jahat family were waiting for her. Then and there, Elaine had realized the fact that the boy who she fell in love with was merely a test to find out if she was suitable for living as a princess of Jahat. Because Elaine failed to become a princess of Jahat, the head of the Po Bia family ordered the entire Grey Wolf family to be imprisoned and imposed a massive penalty fee. Elaine herself was sentenced to a special labor punishment, in which she was supposed to rule over the Name Hunt Station on behalf of the 10 families. The Name Hunt Station was a lawless, neglected area on the 39th floor. The 10 families had conquered the place years ago and were planning to turn the station into a pyramid slave scheme, trading the names and disposing of regulars. Elaine agreed to the punishment as she felt guilty about the massive penalty fee which had been imposed on her family. She immediately surpassed all the regulars at the station and made them her slaves. She took on the persona known as Kaiser, implemented a rule that made it near impossible to challenge her, and ruled over the Name Hunt Station for 1000 years. And that was the story of Po Bia Elaine, at least for the time being. And now I want to jump even further into the past, as I want to talk about Jinsung Ha. Jinsung Ha is the son of one of Yurin's twins, making him the grandson of Ha Yurin, the head of the Ha family, and Ari Han, the head of the Ari family. Jinsung Ha is very old, thousands and thousands of years old to be more precise. As the grandson of 2 family heads, Jinsung Ha always enjoyed a bit of recognition and respect. It is said that when he was younger, he met with King Jahat, which is a rare event as Jahat and the 10 family heads rarely talk with people that are beneath them. At some point, Jinsung Ha fell in love with a woman. That woman was later sold to a branch of the Ha family. In his anger, he annihilated the entire branch, unable to rescue her as the woman died as well. This event ultimately led to him holding a resentment towards the great families, so much so that he instantly killed every great family member he encountered. His hatred towards the great families grew so big that he ultimately joined FUCK as a martial arts teacher for their slayers. Jinsung Ha's action and abilities made him rank within the top 100 high rankers. Sometime after that, and roughly 3000 years before Bam entered the tower, Jinsung Ha heard an interesting rumor about a ranker guarding something called the Essence of Bravery. The Essence of Bravery contains all the wisdom of fighting. So, Jinsung Ha went to an unexplored area of the tower, which was out of the influence of the floor's ruler, and there he met Kallavan, the ranker that was guarding the gem. Jinsung Ha and Kallavan fought, and Jinsung Ha was very impressed with the young ranker's abilities and talent. After the fight, Kallavan was still able to stand up after taking a beating from Jinsung Ha. Jinsung Ha asked why a great talent like Kallavan was staying in an isolated area. Kallavan mentioned that he belonged to a village that guards the essence of bravery and that he is the current guardian. Whenever a person from the family becomes a ranker, they fight the person that is currently guarding the gem, with the stronger ranker killing the weaker ranker and replacing them as the guardian of the gem. Jinsung Ha told Kallavan that his bloodline already produced the ultimate achievement, which is Kallavan himself, and that he should be the one to inherit the essence of bravery. On the same day, Kallavan decides to smash the bronze statue holding the gem and claim the essence for himself. After Kallavan smashed the bronze statue, he touched the gem and memories from the past started to appear. An image showed the back of a man with large muscles, who was also massive in size. Also, with just a glance of the man sealed in the gem, Kallavan knew that he was a complete master of martial arts. The man in the past seemed to live in an ancient time where wars were always occurring. The man would keep fighting until blood of his enemies flowed like a river. When the man in the gem stopped fighting, he sealed himself inside the gem, known as the essence of bravery. Kallavan's ancestor may have connections with the man sealed inside the gem, and the moment when the man sealed himself in the gem, Kallavan saw that the man's eyes were filled with regret and sadness, but Kallavan ultimately obtained the power of the gem. The next time Jinsung Ha saw Kallavan, he was already as strong as a high ranker. Jinsung Ha suggested that Kallavan became a slayer for fuck, but he kindly refused. Kallavan then went on a journey, officially became a high ranker, and started to make a name for himself as he defeated many warriors and made them his subordinates. At one point in time, Kallavan met King Jahad. Kallavan acknowledged Jahad as the one true king and thought of Jahad as an omnipotent being. Kallavan decided then and there that he would use his power to make everyone surrender to the king. This led to him and his followers joining Jahad's army, where Kallavan eventually gained the rank of squadron commander of Jahad's 4th Army Corps. Now let's jump from Kallavan, who refused the slayer position, to someone who has become a slayer at a young age, Karaka. Karaka's history is currently still unknown for the most part. However, it is known that he was trained in martial arts by Jinsung Ha, as mentioned in part 2 of my Tower of God history series, when Jahad became the king of the tower. He split the key of the tower that would open the door leading to higher floors into 2 parts, so that no one could go beyond the 134th floor. He gave the first part of the key to Ashul Edwaru, who melted it and turned it into the 13-month series. The other half of the key was melted into several crimson rings with the crest of Jahad. These rings were handed to children whose existence was meant to kept hidden alongside the rings, and Karaka is in possession of one of those rings. During his time as a regular, Karaka received special assignments from FUC while he was taking his tests and climbing the tower. Depending on the nature of those assignments, Karaka would assassinate a specific regular during a test, help specific regulars pass the test, or fail all other regulars and pass the test alone. It is said that the goals of those assignments were probably to violate or mock the rules of the tests. At some point after Karaka officially became a FUC slayer, Jinsung Ha visited Karaka and gave him a present to celebrate this achievement. The gift that Karaka received was an armor suit. Karaka swore that he would use this armor to achieve FUC's dream, but Jinsung Ha told Karaka that this armor wasn't for revenge, but rather for surviving. Jinsung Ha knew that because Karaka became a slayer at a young age, he would eventually make a lot of enemies, so this suit was given to him to help Karaka stay alive. Karaka quickly gained big influence, reputation, fame and popularity in a relatively short time. It didn't take long before the Jahad Empire noticed and finally acknowledged Karaka's presence, his growth, power and army as a new threat to the empire. However, the biggest threat to Jahad and his empire arrived roughly 500 years before Bam entered the tower, in the form of another irregular, whose appearance would shock the tower to its very core. I'm talking about Phantaminum. Phantaminum is an irregular, as well as one of the strongest axes in the TOS universe. I will explain what that means in a little bit. Anyway, one day, Phantaminum suddenly appeared in the tower and breached Jahad's inner palace, massacring many high rankers. He successfully shattered all lines of defense with his unique combat style. It is said that he used a weapon that has not been seen anywhere inside the tower before. Phantaminum easily killed everyone that stood in his way and ultimately faced Jahad. But he vanished without fighting Jahad. When Phantaminum broke into the palace, it is said that he met Ha Yuri Jahad in the inner palace. There is a great diversity in opinion as to why he didn't kill her. All Yuri Jahad had to say about the matter was that he is a scumbag. Most of the eyewitnesses either died or lost their minds out of fear after Phantaminum appeared, so the stories were not very accurately reported. There were a lot of objections to the ranking administration office about giving Phantaminum the first ranking, who had disappeared after the attack on the palace of Jahad and had become inactive, but everyone agreed his impressive strength alone was overwhelming. As a result, Phantaminum became the number 1 ranker in the tower, pushing Jahad to number 3. irregulars were since seen in a bad light because of him, and these views had a big impact on Jurek Magino when he climbed the tower, but I will talk a lot more about him in the future part, so subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss it once it is released. Anyway, as promised, I will now try to explain what an AXIS is. An AXIS user, also known as an AXIS, is a person with the power to influence a tale within the Tales user story. To remind everyone, the Tower of God storyline takes place inside the Tales user universe and is only one tale in the overall Tooth universe. An AXIS is a completely different entity to a ranker. A non-AXIS user is unable to interfere in any way with an AXIS, meaning even the weakest AXIS could defeat the strongest non-AXIS. An AXIS user can only be defeated by a more powerful AXIS. What that means is that Phantaminum, who is one of the strongest AXIS, could never be defeated or even harmed by anything or anyone in the tower. Currently, no one in the tower is aware of the fact that Phantaminum is an AXIS. SIU once mentioned that Phantaminum could instantly destroy the Tower of God story if he wanted to, which is also why I highly doubt that Phantaminum will ever appear in the Tower of God story again. However, he is still the number 1 ranked entity in the tower, as well as a popular character in the Tower of God community, which is why I thought I should at the very least mention him and the whole AXIS concept. Anyway, before I end this part, there are still 2 more characters I want to talk about. One of these characters is Han Sung Yu. There isn't a whole lot of information about his history, however it is shown time and time again that he has a deep knowledge about the past and the great warriors that entered the tower with jihad. According to SIU, Han Sung Yu is also deeply connected to one of the family heads, namely Hendo Lok Blood Matter. He is considered a genius wave controller and apparently refuses to become a high ranker. When Han Sung Yu was still a regular, he boarded the Hell Train and eventually reached the hidden floor, where his data version was searching for the data version of Khun Edwan. It turns out that the reason why Han Sung Yu wanted to meet Data Khun Edwan was to inform Edwan that someday the son of Vi would come to the hidden floor, defeat Data Jihad and liberate the hidden floor from his hands. Data Han Sung Yu also requested Data Edwan to help him on this matter. He also told Data Edwan that the real Jihad has changed into a ruthless king of the tower, and that God will send someone to punish Jihad. He will cause a stir in this tower. This is a fate that has been tied together by Aline Grace. Once the real Han Sung Yu became a ranker, he was attacked by the last person I want to talk about today. Evankhell is one of the strongest high rankers with her power of an Ancient One. If you want to know more about Ancient Ones, I suggest you check out part 1 of my Tower of God history series. Not much has been revealed concerning Evankhell's past either, except that she killed the former ruler of the 2nd floor who belonged to the Great Family. She then took ownership of the 2nd floor and became rank 60 in the tower. As mentioned, Han Sung Yu was about to be killed by Evankhell, but before that could happen, Evankhell asked what Han Sung Yu is afraid of, and she was curious why he wasn't scared when his life was in danger. And then Han Sung Yu responded back, saying that he never thought he would live forever. He said he is not scared of dying. However, his only fear is having his rage fade away and be unable to change the tower. Evankhell in response also said she's afraid of that too and asked what Han Sung Yu is trying to achieve, with him responding, "I want to usher in a new era in this tower." So Evankhell allowed Han Sung Yu to live and he became the test director on her floor. And this is the end of this video, which concludes part 6 of my Tower of God history series. In part 7 we will take a closer look at the head of the Po Bia family, as well as the story behind the Beastkin and the Canines. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also let me know in the comments what you thought about this video. Also check some of my other content out as well. I'm Dennis and as always, thank you for watching and I hope to see you again. Bye!